Ah, bugger, I've done another CV.
Team Pony pit crew. How good is this?
Now left. Yeah, that's it. Right now. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Welcome back to another pony episode. If you can't tell, I'm pretty excited, and that's because we finally get to enter the pony into the 4-drive competition in Queensland, the thing we've been building the vehicle for this whole series. Now, last episode, we took the mighty pony up 6 stage to really test out the vehicle, and I'll tell you what, that track certainly lived up to its reputation. The poor old girl copped a little bit of damage, which means I've got a lot of work to do to get it ready for the competition.
When you think about what we've done to the pony in just 10 months, we bought it as a bog stock old HiLux, and we've driven Queensland's toughest 4-drive tracks like Little Red and Big Red, one of New South Wales' most toughest tracks 6 stage, and we've also taken it to Cape York and Fraser Island as well. We've tried to do all of this on as much of a budget as possible. The end goal was to build a road legal and competition ready 4-drive, and after buying this car, we spent well under 10 grand getting it ready to compete in a 4-drive competition.
But now we're back in the shed and I've got to drive this vehicle up to Queensland. I've basically got 24 hours before I have to leave and I've got heaps of work to do. So I'm going to get straight into it.
First up, we're going to replace the front CV that we broke at the top of 6 stage. At the top of the track, I cleaned out the steering knuckle so I could get the vehicle home, because it's much nicer doing a job like this when you're in the shed with proper tools.
Righto, so I've just taken the spindle off and leaked a diff oil and molly grease milkshake all over my floor. But you're probably wondering, where's the CV? Well, there isn't one in here at the moment, and the reason for that is the CV blew at the top of 6 stage and I had to change it before I went home, before I drove the vehicle back. The problem is though, when you break a CV in a solid axle vehicle, the little ball bearings and bits of metal inside, often in this steering knuckle, will work their way down to the bottom and they can actually jam your steering. So even though you unlock the hub, the CV is not spinning, it's just sitting there. But as you drive, all of a sudden it could be fine and then you get a little bit of metal in there and your steering locks up, which can be obviously dangerous on the road. So usually the best way to do it is to put a new CV in there. The axle seal though often goes when a CV breaks, and I didn't have a spare axle seal with me on the tracks. So because I couldn't replace that axle seal out in the bush, even though if I put a new CV in, the front end still would have leaked with diff oil everywhere. So what I did instead, so I removed the swivel hub and cleaned out all the metal so it wouldn't lock up my steering, and then just put it all back together. It would still leak, but it only needed to get me home, because even if I put the new CV in, I would have had to pull it apart to change that axle seal anyway. Now, I've just got to clean up all that diff oil and grease and then I can hook into changing with a nice new axle seal, get the new CV back in there, and then tidy all this up and put it back together again. Righto, that's the steering knuckle. Now also I've unbolted the wiper seals from the back. Now with these, there is a specific way they like to go back on. So a handy tip is when you are taking them off, just try and keep them in the order you took them off so it's easy to remember which way the new ones go on. Righto, and here's the failed axle seal. As you can see, it's not exactly straight anymore, and that's why I didn't bother putting a new CV back in, because it was going to leak no matter what. Now, this little seal is one of the main reasons your front end will leak on a solid axle vehicle. So even though this one's pretty destroyed, you need to take care when you're removing it that you don't scratch the mating surface that the seal sits in, because you can put it all back together and that can be one of the reasons that it'll leak once it's all back together. Righto, so the steering knuckle's back together. Now when you are putting it back together, there are some shims in this top plate here, and what they do is they help to set the preload on the bearings inside the steering knuckle itself. It's important you get that right, because if you don't, you can get real poor driving, you can get a lot of steering wobble and stuff like that if that isn't right. And one of the easiest ways to tell, over time, the more you do this, you can generally get a good feel for how it wants to be. And if you're not sure, you can get one of these tools. Now, this is a knuckle pull scale. It's super handy for when you're setting up the preload on your steering knuckles, because it has a number here and that shows you how much force is applied when you are rotating the steering knuckle. So right now, if I pull that, It feels nice and firm and it gives me a number reading on here. That number obviously you need to check with your service manual for what's optimum for your vehicle, but this feels pretty good, so I can keep going with putting the rest of it back together. Righto, so I'm just putting a bit of moly grease inside the knuckle now. There's a couple of schools of thought as to how much grease you should put inside the knuckle. Some people like to pack it full of moly grease, which is fine, you can do that. I just find it's easier to do it this way because it's easier to clean up, to be honest. But I just put a little bit in, not too much, just enough to sort of line the outside of it and to just cushion the CV a little bit. So what is important though is to make sure there's plenty of grease in the back of the CV itself. So I just like to rotate it around like this and just make sure you just push it down and pack it, get it nice and firm in there, and just help the CV when it's operating and it heats up. It's a messy old job, this one.
If you are putting a CV in a solid axle vehicle, make sure you take your time when you're inserting the CV into the housing. It's real easy to damage the axle seal, and that means it can leak as soon as you finish the job. The last thing you want is to pinch that inner axle seal, because it means you have to pull the whole thing apart and do it again if the seal fails. One done, lots to go.
Have a go at this. The postman just dropped off another delivery. This should be the new tail light I ordered from Spares Box after I destroyed the other one on 6-stage. That looks like a tail light, but that's good. It means that I'll have lights for the drive to Queensland.
Also, before we left, I got a second-hand set of mirrors off a mate of mine who traded them for a 6-pack of beer. I tell you what, it's pretty nice actually being able to see behind me. Before we go, it's time for a quick oil change and a filter change to give the old girl a bit of love before the big drive to Queensland. She's gonna need all the help she can get. Also, I reckon the key to getting a massive amount of Ks out of older vehicles is regular servicing.
So we've done heaps of work today, but it's getting late and I've still got plenty more to do. So I'm gonna hook in and keep going, but hopefully the next time I see you, the pony and I will be up in Queensland, ready to compete.
It's time for the ultimate test for the pony. Welcome to Rocket 4x4 Challenge. A 4-drive competition hosted at a 4-drive park in southeast Queensland. The beauty about this comp is it's extremely welcoming. Pretty much anyone can enter. There's different categories you can enter your vehicle in for all 4-wheel drives from mild to very, very wild. Check out some of the insane 4-wheel drives that'll be on the tracks today. Yep, and here I am competing in a road legal HiLux on 33s. This is gonna be awesome.
Well, mate, we made it, hey?
Yeah, we're finally here.
Big drive to Queensland from Sydney. Oh man, that was some of those hills. But tell you what, Spring 4 Drive Park, it's competition day.
Yeah, it should be good. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm super excited. Never done a competition before, so keen to give it a go.
Yeah.
And obviously you've done a few, so.
Yeah, I'm always excited though. It's always a good time. I feel like it's good practice for the old skills. It's not necessarily about who wins. It's just about having a good time, really. Isn't it?
That's what I'm here for. Like, I'm just here to have a good time, improve my skills a bit, because there's a couple of like rules with driving that, you know, will be a good challenge.
Yeah.
So I'm keen to see how the pony goes and how I go as well.
I'm sure she'll go good.
Yeah.
We'll see how you go.
All right. Well, let's park up here and sign in, eh?
Yeah, right.
Cool.
So we just finished putting the nets on, getting the car ready for the comp, but I've actually organised a bit of a special for Jock too. We've got these stickers made up to represent the pony. Now, putting these on hopefully will give us at least another pony power, so that'll probably give us a total of 2.
The little pony has come a long way. Now it's time to see what she can do up against the bigger vehicles. That said, we've added the mods that we thought would make the most difference to how she behaves on a track. We reckon all these mods are going to help us massively this weekend. Matt's done a few of these comps and he's got the nickname Super Navi for good reason. He'll be out on the track directing me through, where my ugly mug will be behind the wheel. Team Pony, here we go. So there's quite a few rules, but I'll give you a rundown of the basics. You start each track with a perfect score and you're deducted points as you go. You have 10 minutes to complete each track. For every minute over, you lose 50 points. If you reverse, you lose 15 points. Hitting a cone, you lose 25 points. Remaining stationary in your vehicle for more than 30 seconds will lose you 30 points. The bunting to mark the track can be touched, but you can't break it. You can use whatever rocks, logs, or anything else you can find on the track to help the vehicle along. A maximum of 3 attempts are allowed at each obstruction. Otherwise, you forfeit the rest of the track. And finally, the navigator can't touch the vehicle when it's moving.
Righto, we're finally here. The Rocket 4x4 Challenge. As you can see behind me, there's some vehicles already getting into it. I'm pretty excited. I'm a little bit nervous as well. I've never done a competition before, but there's 4 classes. There's standard, locked, modified, and buggy. So depending on how modified your vehicle is, determines the class you're in. The big pony's in locked class, and because she has reduction gears, we've taken a hit for that. But if we go up a class, we'll be versing much bigger vehicles. Even though it's my first time, I'm pretty keen to give it a go.
Righto, time for track 1. A lot of the tracks we'll be driving snake up a steep, rocky hill full of boulders. And they purposely make them tight, so you need to be millimetre perfect with your wheel placement. At home, it might be hard to see just how tough the tracks are because of the tall grass. It's just as hard for me being behind the wheel because it's making it hard to see the size of the rocks in front of me. I've got to rely heavily on Matt and trust what he's seeing. Let's get into it.
Sweet.
Now left hand down, hold that.
So far so good, but up ahead I get my first real taste of being in a competition. A really tight corner that the pony just doesn't want to turn into. On a normal four-wheel drive track, you can stop, get out of the car, have a look, and have a few attempts. But this is a competition, so we just have to get into
reverse. Yep. Nice and easy. Yeah. This one's tight. A little bit left for me. Yeah, hold that.
Yeah. Oh well.
I've had to reverse and I've also hit a cone, so there's a couple of deductions there.
Yeah. What, you right? Am I about to break that bunting?
Nope. All right, right hand down. Nah. Stop there. Nice job, mate.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Good spotting.
How'd you go, mate?
Mate, that was sick.
Yeah, did you have fun?
Yeah, that was awesome. There was, I think I was a little bit too quick. Maybe I was just too excited.
Yeah, probably just a bit of adrenaline on your first time.
Yeah, but once to sort of breathe and slow down.
No, I think we did pretty good. I mean, unfortunately, one of the disadvantages of this course is not being able to see the track beforehand, so it catches you a bit.
Definitely, and the old tight dog steering made it a bit.
Yeah,
it's good arm workout.
Especially from that top corner, we end up hitting that cone.
Yeah,
it's a shame we reversed too. Hey.
Yeah, we probably could have just copped the cone, but we'll know that for next time.
Yeah, that's it. But still good learning.
Yeah, definitly. That was awesome.
Better next track.
Yeah, keen as to give it a go.
Yes.
Righto, this is track 2 for the day. Matt's already walking up to get an idea of the line, but now I think the tactic is just to slow down a bit, breathe a bit more, and just take our time. See how we go. Apparently it's quite tight, the other competitors said, so see what happens. Right.
Yeah,
pony.
I feel like you'll just fit through them pretty good, narrow dog.
How's that? Can I turn now?
Turn. Nice and easy. Right hand down for me. Hold that. You're gonna hit it. You got it.
Damn it.
All right. Go forward a little bit and roll out. Oh, you gotta drive it. Just drive it. Okay, that works.
Oh, good. Go the pony.
I got.
You right? Let's go slow. Yeah.
What makes these tracks more difficult is you can see the cones as you come up to them, but once you get your vehicle closer, you can't see them at all, and they're super tight, which means you just have to trust your spotter to get you through.
All right, straighten up. All right.
How's that lock? Full lock anyway.
Yeah, that's all you get. All right, come forward now.
Yeah.
Right hand down for me. Yeah, really did.
This was a much bigger rock than it looked, and now I'm diffed out. And I can't get off this rock. If I reverse, I lose points. Matt can't touch the vehicle either to help me off. And if I can't get off, we have a huge problem.
Bit of mayo.
Pony power, Jock. They want to see some pony power, mate.
What power? Give us some sandal.
I'll just go the other side.
Yeah.
What a place to do an ankle, eh? Oh, check you can't move anyway, mate.
Yeah, I've stopped.
All right, give that a go. This wheel's got no drive, mate.
Really? Did I just do a CV?
I think so.
Ah, bugger, I've done another CV. There's no drive to that front right.
That's it. Left it down, mate, left. Rocket. I'm running out of rocks. That's it. Left, left, left. Good job. Right, wait there for me. No, spider web. Ah!
Oh, you poor thing. Yeah, I think I have. Yeah. Probably.
A little bit right for me.
Oh, bugger, that busted CV cost us some points. Luckily, we have a spare. But we only have a lunch break to change it. At least I got to practice my CV replacement skills about 24 hours ago back in Sydney.
It is what it is, mate. Broken CV, we couldn't do anything about it.
Go and have a cold drink, this is lunch.
Yeah. Look at, they've got the parts.
Oh, look at that. We even got parts out for us, you legends. Pit stop. The good thing is the boys came back to camp first and I even got all the tools out ready to go, so we're like a team pony pit crew. How good is this? We'll get the CV changed pretty quick, I reckon. This is the other CV I got from Spares Box back in the Bush Mechanic Challenge. So I've used one, I've got one left. Lucky I brought it. There you go, one of the world's quickest CV changes. One of the good things is though, we turned up and the boys went ahead of us, they got the tools out ready to go, they put some lunch on and everyone hooked in and had a go, which I reckon that's what four-wheel driving's about, just having fun with your mates and hooking in. But for now, she's ready to go wheeling again.
With a new CV and a bit of a break, I'm feeling a lot more confident about this Arvo's tracks.
Ew. Well done.
These tracks aren't just a challenge for your four-wheel drive. They're technical and designed to force you to think several moves ahead and think about where your vehicle needs to be. Failing to plan ahead can put you in tight situations that force you to lose points.
So come right up into the corner here and then punch it in.
A good trick that Matt taught me after a few years doing these competitions is instead of using reverse, you get the pony in a position where you can roll back on its own steam, so you don't lose any points. You can also do this as many times as you want.
Go right in now, yeah, and drive up. A little bit left and go. And now left, yeah, that's it, right and down. Take it easy, take it easy. All right, left. And straight. Good drive, mate.
Go the pony.
Right and down, right and down. Good job. Saved it.
And it's much the same for track 4, which is more my style of track and something we built this pony to do.
Okay.
A steep, rutted, technical hill climb.
The old brush bars.
Those reduction gears and lockers are working perfectly and we nail this one too. We're at this comp just to have fun and test out the pony. But it's a heap of fun challenging yourself to score as many points as possible too. It gets me thinking, if you were to buy a four-wheel drive and turn it into a comp truck, what would you buy and what mods would you make? Tell us in the comments below, I'd love to see your opinions.
Nice, bro.
I'll tell you what, I reckon the pony's done pretty well for a first day of a competition and for my first time at a competition as well. Pretty stoked. I can already feel that my skills have improved even just from this morning, probably because I just slowed down a bit to be honest. But there's one thing I just really wanted to get across and the fact that we sort of mentioned throughout this whole build that, you know, we're doing this on a budget and we're trying to keep to this budget, and it goes without saying that you pretty much need to take the budget with a grain of salt. Like, obviously we've tried to stick to $5,000 as much as possible, but I think the thing you need to keep in mind is that's not really what we're trying to get across. The point we're trying to make is that you can get a cheap car, spend not that much money on it, and go out and enter things like this and have an absolute ball, meet new people and test your skills and improve your skills, and you'll also just build a better relationship with your vehicle as well. And that's what we're really trying to show. It's not so much that we spent X amount of money on the car and it was good to go. It's the fact that you can get out and have fun in a car that doesn't cost you a lot of money. I tell you what, I'm pretty stoked with how the pony's been going. For now though, it's been a big first day. It's been pretty awesome to tell you the truth. But I reckon it's time to check over the rigs and maybe have a couple of beers at camp. And then early night, ready for some more tracks tomorrow. Brad maxed out his buggy on the ramp. I reckon the pony might fall off the other side.
How good of mates, eh? Alright boys, the pony might not be a flexy beast, or be very fast, or look tidy, or smell good, but it sure does have character.
Oh, the ramp is too small.
Oh, too small.
Yeah, too much flex, mate. Next time.
Well, how good was that, eh? That's day one done. Time to set up camp, crack a cold beer, and relax around the fire.
Righto, day two, super pumped to get back into it. Got a couple more tracks today, but first things first, I'm just checking over the vehicle. I did notice that the clutch fluid was a bit low. Clutch was a bit sticky yesterday, so I'm just gonna top it up, and then the boys are getting packed up, we'll be ready to hit the tracks again.
Well, I made a fair few mistakes on some of those tracks yesterday, but I guess that's fair enough for my first time. But I definitely learnt my lesson, and I'm looking forward to today. I reckon it's gonna be great fun.
Righto, ready for day two? First track? Should be exciting. Right, let's do it.
Yep. Right, I keep coming down. I'm going to unlock your hubs for this corner.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep, a little bit left for me.
Overnight, Matt and I came up with a bit of a game plan to help with the steering. The front locker still allows you to turn, but not easily when you're in low range going super slow.
Once you get down, just stop.
So, when we have to turn tight corners, I'm going to stop the vehicle and Matt's going to unlock one hub so I can turn tighter, which means less reversing.
Right, take it easy over this little hump.
I tell you what, it just goes to show how important communication with your spotter is. It's a tip for anyone wanting to do technical tracks. The key is having eyes outside the vehicle who'll help you pick the perfect line and to trust what they say. And you also need to put total trust in your spotter because they can see better than you.
The job went really well. That was good. First track for Sunday and he nailed it. Happy with that.
Good job, bud. Thanks, mate.
Well done, Jock.
Awesome spotting, Matt. That was tight, eh?
That was tight.
Yeah. Righto.
Righto, the last track of the day, which is actually track 5 but in reverse. If we do well on this one, we've had a great run home in points. Once again, Matt's up front, expertly spotting me, and we get through with hitting just one cone.
Good well. Oh, mate.
Hey, mate, that was great.
Here you go.
I worked for it.
Yeah, 100%. It was a sick track, though.
Yeah, it was super tight, but I think the old pony did well. Artwork worked there well, or there'd be another dent.
Yeah, 100%. I thought I hit this door, but tell you what, though, even though we hit a cone and stuff, I feel way more comfortable in the car now compared to at the start of the weekend.
Yeah, yesterday morning, I think we've learned a lot, and you're doing super well.
Thanks, man. Oh, it's because I got a good spotter out in front of me, I think. But anyway, what do you reckon now, hey? Go back to camp and probably get packed up?
Wait for Prezzo and hopefully we get a trophy.
Yeah, we'll see. I have no idea how we've ranked.
Yeah, I feel like we had a big learning curve yesterday, so...
Probably a bit low. Yeah. All right, let's get packed up, eh?
Righto.
As I said, we came here to have a bit of fun and to test the pony, and so I could test my skills as well, and didn't really worry about our scores until it came to the presentation. Righto, time for the results. I wonder how the pony scored.
Second place on 8-10, Jock McDonald and Matt Kinselas.
Oh, second place. We were absolutely stoked with that.
You're only pipped by 15 points. So,
You get bonus points because he's still alive?
so first on 8.25 is Preston Damien.
Yeah.
First place on 6.80, Max and Matt Kinselas.
Yeah.
An old super navvy Matto took home first place with Max in the Never Lift HiLux in the buggy class. That's the big green comp truck you saw in the last pony episode.
Mate, what an unreal weekend, hey?
great, wasn't it?
I had an absolute ball, and tell you what, you did pretty well as super navvy.
Yeah, I mean, the pony did well, and even you did all right somewhere.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well, second place isn't too bad. Pretty stoked with that for my first competition.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, there was 15 points, I think, between first and second, and really makes you think about, you know, that one cone or that one reverse. But I guess the advantage of that is it means you know what to improve for next time, and you can come back and improve your skills even more. But tell you what, I reckon the pony did pretty well for a budget vehicle. It's just almost reiterates the point. You don't need to go and spend a massive amount of money on a vehicle to go have fun with your mates. I had an absolute ball. I think you did as well.
I had a great time.
Definitely.
It's all right that we came second to a HiLux as well.
Yeah, definitely. And they were a great bunch of people as well, so it's pretty
great
awesome.
community up here.
Yeah, it's good to see an LM106 came first as well, so that's
Yeah.
even better. Well, if you're wondering what's going to happen to the pony now, well, I reckon she's going to have a little bit of a rest in the shed. I've got some new panels and stuff just to make her look a little bit nice again. She's pretty beat up, but yeah, hopefully she'll be back out on the tracks pretty soon, and who knows, maybe another competition down the line, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, jump on there real quick. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you want to keep up to date with what the boys are doing, make sure you check out our Facebook and Instagram as well. Other than that, mate, thanks for being a part of it.
Yep, we'll drive back to Sydney.
Yeah, oh, that's going to be fun. Cheers, guys. We'll catch you next time.